Hello there. You are in the House of D. I am, of course, D Square. Today, we're going to look at some cool events that happened in the Excalibur Dawn of X comic book series, specifically issues number 5 and 6. So let's check it out. So I'm not going to set up the complete story for you. I think if you're interested, you should definitely go to your LCS there and start collecting these issues again if this is something that interests you. But just to set it up at least a little bit here as far as the context, we are in Otherworld, the Excalibur team, which comprises of course, Apocalypse, Captain Britain, otherwise known as Betsy Braddock or the old Psylocke. We also have Jubilee and her adopted son Shogo, and we have Rogue and Gambit. And there are some events that have happened here where Rogue is now basically in a stasis mode because she took part in one of Apocalypse's rituals. So Gambit was definitely not appreciating these events, and things certainly got heated when Gambit took it upon himself to employ some of Krakoa's telepaths to try and rouse Rogue out of this sleep. However, this is a disruption of Apocalypse's plan, so things get heated for sure. Eventually, it does come to blows between Gambit and Apocalypse, and certainly there is no world or storyline in which Gambit will ever be a match for Apocalypse. So Rogue, who is still in this unconscious state, does start to sense that her man is in trouble, so she begins to be roused out of her slumber. Indeed, Rogue awakens, flies to the scene of the battle between Apocalypse and Gambit, and she starts to go to work on Apocalypse. He doesn't actually seem to be resisting much, and we find out why very shortly. Rogue touches Apocalypse and starts to drain his power. What's interesting though is while she's doing this, again, Apocalypse is not even trying to stop her. In fact, he seems to want this and mentions that this is going to complete the ritual. Rogue does end up killing Apocalypse here. And in doing so, she certainly has seemed to have completed a ritual, as a new gate has appeared that will allow them to escape Otherworld if they so choose. The ritual is complete, and now Rogue has absorbed the powers of Apocalypse. She has become Roguepocalypse. How crazy is that? I couldn't believe it the first time I saw it. Now, she had absorbed his energy until his death, so I really didn't have any idea how long this would last, but it was certainly cool to see her do this. What's even crazier is that obviously Apocalypse wanted this to happen in order to fulfill the ritual so they could escape Otherworld. But what he also knew, other than the fact that he could just be resurrected again, is that because of his seat on the Krakoan Council, he's bumped up the queue of, people that need to be resurrected. And he's bumped up so fast that they resurrect him in time for him to basically come back and join the battle. The battle is won. And heck, how could it not be? Excalibur, which basically has 2 apocalypses during the battle, as well as Gambit, Captain Britain, Shogo, who turns into a dragon, and his mother, Jubilee, it's a no-brainer. So, Rogue and Gambit, they're in a hot tub, right off the shore, embracing each other, as you can see, discussing on whether they really want to have children, because that's a thing now. One of the main mutant laws is, hey, make more mutants. But Rogue has ultimately decided that that's not really the direction they want to go, particularly how much she's put in danger. Now, they may not want to have kids, but they definitely want to do the act that results in children. and they proceed to do so. You may be asking yourself, D-Square, how is that possible? Rogue absorbs people and their energy when she touches them. Well, aside from the fact that Gambit over the years, we have actually seen where he's been able to kind of create a kinetic energy barrier that protects him from Rogue. We have seen that, but that's not the case here. You see, at this time, Rogue is so in control of her powers that she can turn them off and turn them back on as she sees fit. So I love the fact that Rogue and Gambit, who are now married, can now touch each other, have loving embraces, and we get to see stuff like this. So very, very cool. Very cool events that happened in these Excalibur issues. Overall, I have been disappointed with a lot of the Dawn of X titles. X-Men, Excalibur, X-Force, particularly X-Force is great. Excalibur is cool. X-Men is a little bit discombobulated because it's not, although it's the flagship, it's not a complete running story. It's more of these just short stories that show you what's going on in the mutant world of Krakoa. So it's definitely interesting. But, you know, again, there is some disappointment for me in these Dawn of X titles, but we do definitely get to see some bright spots here or there, and certainly these events that I just talked about in the Excalibur books are among those. Alright guys, well, I appreciate you watching the video today. If you want to check out more of me, D-Square, I definitely suggest you go to superheroespeak.com, where I do some indie reviews for the people over at that awesome website. You can also check out our new podcast. That's right. We're, of course, on Podbean and on Apple Podcasts. It is the House of D podcast. So just search House of D in your Apple Podcast app or Podbean and check us out. We are 2 episodes in. We have some really great geeky views from me, Volsker, and our new friend J100. So please check us out. If you are enjoying the content here on the channel, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to make sure that you are aware of my next upload. Until then, guys, as always, peace and love, and we'll see you again soon.